Wow.
Wow! We did it. We finished the game. All right, let me. All right. Oh my God, it's really loud. Yeah. No. All right. Sorry. You guys are hearing a bunch of stuff. All right. All right. PC stream. Where is mainstream? Ooh. Tithe and Blood.
This is a share your screen with kettle type of game.
I know. I'm working on it.
No, you're fine. I'm just reminding you.
Yeah. Okay, display. Full screen. There it is. Alright, I'm changing it to Nihongo. Kettle's like, no. Do not. Do you see it? See? Oh my God, it's so gay.
Wow.
This is very gay already.
I love. Just no. Haters will just say it's gals being pals.
It's Yuri. It's gay.
Yeah, that's why I said haters will say it's gals being
True.
pals.
Fair. Let me know if I turned it down too quiet.
Oh, it is. Well, let me check if it's Discord.
Okay.
Oh, it might be Discord.
No, this is way too quiet. Whoa, blood. Alright, I think I did turn down too quiet. I got a flashbang.
I agree.
Settings. Sound. There we go. Better? Speaking of Yuri, fuck Hibiki Euphonium and the Yuri baiting bullshit. Extra. Hibiki Euphonium is so much bait, dude. You should know that.
It is, and I hate it.
Terrible chill hangs in the air. A season providing bitter. The Caesar. Oh my God! I can't read. Sorry.
We haven't had to read in a while.
Yeah, a terrible chill hangs in the air. The season proving bitter as it is so off as it is. Oh my God! As it so often is here. Two gayest girl in anime, but no. Yeah. Same with one of the ones that I've been watching, or that has finished, but they also had like mini episodes, like Horus Recoil. They are so gay for each other. But okay. Sure, guys.
Yeah.
On this cold day, a great throng of students slowly shuffles through the piled snow of the university grounds. The day's lecture's finally over. Oh, Horus Recoil! I hit a nerve. It's so frustrating to watch romances be teased, and you're just like, bro.
Yeah.
I forgot to stop recording. Fuck, I have to cut this in editing. Shit, it's gonna take me an extra like 2 hours tonight.
Nah, that was you.
That was all me, dude. Some gossip.
Good luck.
Some gossip freely with friends, while others fawn over their partners. Most, however, stroll silently.
Not you following along with your mouse.
Shush! Amidst the sea of people walks one unremarkable student among many.
That's how you know you haven't read in a while.
Yeah, I know. It went without saying that I'd go to university. I was called smart, clever, intelligent. I quietly liked the praise and saw no reason to fight others' ambitions for me. As long as people told me I was doing well, I hardly cared what I did. I wouldn't say I had a career in mind, nor any particular plan for the future. I barely chose this way of life at all. I simply fell into it. Things happened around me, and I followed the path of least resistance. I never considered what would happen when I had to think for myself. Her first thought was gay thoughts.
Yeah, her first thought for herself was boobs. Tits.
The train rattles and shakes as it trundles along the desolate city outskirts, the air inside stifling from the heaters. The seats always fill before I get on, so standing for the awkwardly long ride has become normal by now. With little else to do, I stare at the train doors. My thoughts soon turn inward, as they so often do in quiet moments. We'll never understand, because whenever I'm on the train, it's headphones in, manga or Balatro. Or my Steam Deck.
Whenever I was on the train, it was either scrolling through social media, reading, or taking a nap.
Fair. Ugh. I should have taken a nap on the way home today. Not needing to study a day of high school has paradoxically made university all the worse. Facing more difficult problems and never having needed to work at understanding something before, I found myself restless. Wow, okay, game. Alright, game. You don't have to call me out like this. One might turn to friends for support, but my nature seems to drive others away. I always got on better with teachers than other students in any case. The city outside becomes distant, its glass buildings reflecting a gray sky. The only color to be seen is that of the bright red Sapporo TV tower, its wireframe girders beaming through the white snow. Okay, so we're in Sapporo.
Sapporo?
Sapporo.
Sapporo.
Sapporo. Not having traveled outside of Hokkaido, it's difficult to view life here in any objective sense. That remoteness hasn't hurt the city, though, having every convenience one could hope for despite its distance from Tokyo. The snow season has brought the annual increase in tourists with it, a topic of some debate given the fuss and crowding they cause. Hotels and snowfields continue their trade, though, as while Sapporo may be the capital of Hokkaido, their money is still sorely needed. Tourist town problems, right, Kettle?
Yeah.
We will endlessly complain about tourists, but please give us your money. Please come here and give us your money.
Yeah.
Cranes work day and night to build new apartments, the city's population ever rising. The bustling train station is one of the most modern in the country, a landmark of glass and high technology. Landmark of glass outside and high technology inside. Even the trains themselves are kept in eerily perfect condition as if every trip were the first day. Sapporo never stops changing in order to keep up, as if locked in a rivalry with Tokyo's modernity. Is any of this right? I can't really say. Like me, everyone keeps going about their day in this ever-changing city, even as the past disappears around us for modern developments, new businesses, and more money. A place now passing by the train window is where I was born and where I expect to die. Jesus Christ, girl.
This girl has a lot of thoughts.
Perhaps it's fate that I live in this grayscale city. So fitting is it for someone like me. Jesus, girl.
Oh my god.
The walk from the station to my house is thankfully much shorter, though the idea of selling it and getting an apartment closer to school is something I've considered more than once. Having passed the local cemetery on the way, I enter. She can sell
the cemetery?
Yeah. Sure. That's a thing that people choose to just walk into.
In the dark? Okay.
Yeah. Did I tell you when Hydra and I were doing Cyclovia like last month? Or 2 months ago? Oh fuck, it's been 2 months. The one in Hollywood. People were diverting off of the route going into the Hollywood cemetery, and we're just like, why? It's not part of the route. And then we realized that it's the Hollywood cemetery. Of course people would want to go in.
To see all the dead celebrities?
Yeah, all the headstones of the dead celebrities.
Oh lord.
Yeah, apparently they do like movie screenings in there too, and I was just like, bro, I've lived here all my life and I didn't know that.
That's literally so like, damn.
That's really creepy.
Famous your whole life and then you can't even rest in peace.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things that I actually am. I'm not afraid of death in many ways, but one of the things I'm very afraid of isn't the everyone will forget me, right? It's
Hmm.
the like you know how they say you die like two deaths when the day you actually die and the day the last person uh re- that remembers you dies.
Hmm.
I'm scared. I'm not scared of the second death. I'm scared of that second death never occurring. I feel like my spirit would never rest until someone forgets, until I'm completely forgotten. You know?
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be a problem for me. I don't think I'm gonna be someone that people in the future
That's fair.
never end up forgetting. I don't think I'm important enough
No, I don't think so either.
for that to be possible. Uh I just don't want my grave to be desecrated.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get it.
I just want my grave to be like left alone.
I I don't actually want a grave. I
That's fair.
when I die, I want to
I
be.
don't have money. I'm pretty sure that's probably all I'm going to get.
I thought a grave is more expensive than getting burnt and your ashes scattered, isn't it?
I don't know. I haven't really looked far into it.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, either way, I think it's a. I think this is a thing that runs in the family. We just don't want to be left or around for too long. I think it's also another thing because in at least Hong Kong and Macau and many parts of southern China, there is just not enough room for large cemeteries anymore. So everyone gets
Yeah.
cremated. So it's become a thing where everyone gets cremated just to save
That's
space.
starting to become the case here too.
Yeah. But either way, I would like to be burnt. There's no reason for me to exist after I die.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Please burn me, scatter me to the ocean or the forest, whatever. I don't care. Shoot me out of a fucking cannon for all I care.
Grow me into a tree.
Yeah, grow me into a tree, or um, take all of my organs, or donate me to science. It doesn't matter. Both are applicable. I'm dropping some frames. Oh, we're good. We're good. We dropped some frames, and we're good. I think the stream hated that me talking about dying.
The stream is like, stop that right now.
Yeah. Having slipped off my shoes, a patter of feet on wood echoes about as I enter the spacious living room. A flimsy plastic bag carries dinner from the nearby convenience store in one hand, while the well-worn messenger bag for school remains strapped over my shoulder. As my eyes adjust to the light, a familiar unease comes over me, the unease of true solitude. The haunting silence hangs in the air, the room size only magnifying the effect. Few things provoke this unsettling feeling so deeply as an empty house which shouldn't be. With my money largely going towards university fees and keeping the house, most of the rooms have been neglected. The table before me might appear a stately wooden construction, but the lie is exposed by the veneer having flaked off a corner, exposing cheap particle board. I'll go to a furniture store and place it sometime, I think to myself as I hang my coat and bag. Of course, sometime is vague enough that I can rationalize away that time never coming. With my food quickly growing colder, the house itself being little warmer than outside, I settle myself down on the cushion. The air soon fills with the studied and monotonous voice of a television news presenter as I begin to eat. A lukewarm set meal is, for better or for worse, consistent in the way convenience store food usually is. Same goes for the bitter green tea which washes it down. Yeah, I had a convenience store dinner tonight. God damn it. I'm so sad because usually 7-Eleven now has like this really nice like ham and cheese with lettuce sandwich and like and tomatoes that I can like add some like mayo to, or they have some sauce on already.
Uh-huh.
Except today they didn't have them. I was just like,
Aw.
no! So I had an egg.
What did they have?
I had tuna salad sandwich.
Aw.
So it's like not bad, but it's not a lot.
Yeah.
And then I had a bag of imported Chinese chips. They were cumin lamb chips. Yeah, they did
Oh.
vaguely taste correct.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean the seasoning is they basically took the seasoning that they put on the cumin lamb, and they added some like meat flavoring to it, and then they threw it on chips. So
Interesting.
yeah, Lay's makes more interesting flavors when it's not in the U.S.
Yeah, right?
You know they make a steak one, like they make like a proper steak Lay's in China.
Yeah.
And they make
Well, they make a lot of different flavors.
and they make a cucumber one.
That actually sounds disgusting.
I have not tried it because that does sound disgusting.
That sounds disgusting.
And then they have a seasoned crawfish one.
That does not sound disgusting.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Occasional click of chopsticks is all this that serves to punctuate the uninteresting news report. The woman's voice rattling off the details of another traffic accident from the snow-covered roads. God. A routine day, much like any other this year. Attention began to drift from disinterest. My eyes settle on the cardboard box to the side of the table. I hardly consider throwing it away, but like most, I decide to use it for storage. For what and when, I hardly know. It still has a shipping label attached, now I look at it. And that one of the I think that one of the thoughtless order of an otherwise nondescript book from some second-hand store would change so much of my life. An idle thought that confirms my plans for the evening. Putting myself to work in order to calm my nerves, I turn off the TV and sort the remnants of dinner into burnable and recyclable trash. With that, I take a long breath and head to the study. Even as I walk up the stairs, I become acutely aware of the sensation from the bandage on my left arm, a now permanent reminder of this grim pastime.
Huh?
What?
What?
What the frick, dude? A lavish room is revealed as I entered, a musty smell of books and old furniture hanging in the air. A haphazard collection of antiques and oddities as a result of a year haunting local antique stores and online marketplaces. Anything to take my mind off what was happening around me. What? Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, girl. Whoa. Pause.
Huh?
Okay. Alright, dude.
Man?
My eyes moved down to the floor. What started as pleasant dark wood is now blighted with remnants of dried blood. The stains run deep, no matter how hard I've tried to clean it. Sight going unnoticed by anyone else is one of the few advantages of living alone. Broski. My dude. Stepping around the faded remnants of chalk between the wood panels, I stride over my desk. My laptop full of translation notes lie to one side, while a time-worn leather-bound book lays open on the other. It's likely the oldest object for many miles around, and treated accordingly. I am not reading that. Assorted notes on the nature of blood magic. The title alone made me curious, a curiosity which soon developed into obsession. Before long, that obsession turned from the intellectual to the practical. Do you know how to say that? Or is it in Latin?
No.
This might be in Latin.
I think it's Latin.
Oh god. With some reverence, I carefully leaf through the pages.
A homegirl wants to sell this house.
Yeah, dude. Just not happening.
Girl.
It's not happening.
Gonna find that. Someone's gonna find that.
It's not happening, dude. The words of the author, one Isabella de Mora, speak across the ages as I scan the page, translating the Italian. Oh, Italian. All right.
Oh, okay.
Italian text has been slow going, not helped by its archaic form, but what progress I've made has yielded good results.
I mean, Latin-based.
Yeah, Latin-based. Rather, it's been my body which has slowed me more than anything else. Girl, what? Looking between the
You
floor.
gonna show us?
Looking between the floor.
Is this gonna be one of the trigger warnings?
There's no jump scares, so look between the
Oh.
true. Look between the floor and book several times. I attempt to visualize the patterns needed to replicate Isabella's experiments. The glyphs and patterns are strange and complex. More than one attempt ending in dismal failure. Fucking around with blood magic, dude. Like there's bloodmetry, and then there's
Bloodmetry.
and then there's freaking drawing a pentagram and covering with blood. Dude. Realizing I've begun to draw this out to avoid the necessary pain for as long as possible, I set the book down when its open page and set about the preparations. Girl, stop! Oh.
Girl.
Taking a piece of chalk from the pile of seemingly unrelated items on my desk, I kneel down and begin to retrace the intricate plans detailed in the book's pages, every so often standing to consult the sketches I'm using as guides. There's an odd beauty to the intricate patterns slowly appearing on the floor. One concentric ring is followed by another, mysterious symbols and figures filling the spaces in between them. That's a lot of Greek and Cyrillic.
It's a lot.
I think it's Greek, Cyrillic. Yeah, it's Greek and Cyrillic. Yeah. Beta, gamma, something. Isabella's process of experimentation and discovery, the result of a great mind imprisoned by her family, has been fascinating to uncover page by page as my translation progressed. Trying to replicate her results would soon prove even more intriguing. Slowly but surely, the detailing comes to an end and the last of the lines meet. Coming to my feet, I set the chalk down and set about the more distasteful side of the process. Oh dear lord.
Slice.
Oh dear lord. Oh my god. Yep, my heart racing. I pull my left sleeve to well above the elbow, revealing a botchy cream-colored bandage stretching down a good portion of my arm. A strange feeling of keeping something hidden despite being surrounded by oblivious others. Little by little, I unravel the dressing, leaving enough at the top of my arm to avoid it falling. As skin beneath is revealed, one dark red line after another blights the pale flesh around it. Some having already scarred, soreness and itching reminded me of their presence. Oh boy, howdy. Reaching to the desk, I take my knife in hand. The blade is nondescript by choice, bought along with random items I didn't need to avoid rousing suspicion. Bringing it to my arm, I hover above a spot below the last cut in hopes of not interfering with its healing. My heart begins racing as the knife settles against the skin. The sound of my breathing is maddeningly loud as it reverberates around the room, becoming ragged. My knuckles whiten as I clutch the knife's cold metal handle in my shaking palm. I've dearly hoped this inhumane act against myself would become more natural, but even now my instincts scream at me to stop. Instinct isn't so easily snuffed out. As the moon's light glints off the coldly utilitarian blade, I press the tip of the knife to the side of my arm. By the way, the full game is 11,000 words.
Full game is what?
The full game is 11,000 words. Oh, dear lord.
That's crazy.
As in one practiced motion, I overcome my body's pleading and force myself to slide through the cross. Pain lances through my body and mind, the gritting of my teeth are the only thing stopping my painful whimpers from escaping. Tool's job done, I throw it to the ground, clutch my arm tightly. Dark crimson fluid seeps from the open wounds, soon flowing freely down my arm and over my hand. Crouching down, I put myself to work to pull what attention I can from the wound. Putting my hand before me, I straighten my index fingers and index and middle fingers to as thick warm blood begin to drip from them. I try my best to minimize my nervous shaking. The chalk outlines soon turn red as I trace them out at a slow but steady pace. I have to take this carefully, I remind myself. My body can't afford to do this often. Every attempt meaning days of recovery. I'm already weak and the winter's efforts hardly help. Girl. As the last of the white chalk turns to a wine dark red, I stand once more and glance about. Moonlight reflects off the fresh blood, the slow trickle dropping to the floor of my arm. A certain dissonance strikes me in the messy red splatters strewn across the floor and the intricate Byzantine patterns they form. The panicked thought of this being some descent into madness briefly passes my mind. What madman, what crazed murderer could stand in such a spectacle and think themselves sane? Rather than fear such thoughts, I treasure them as I close my eyes shut. Their confirmation I've not yet lost my mind. I can still see this from the outside. I'm still human. As the book says,
Are you sure?
As the book says, I concentrate on imagining the symbols and patterns around me in my mind. My emotions begin to shift and ebb, my nerves somehow becoming swept along in the strangely calming sensation. Oh my god. As if caught in a river. Oh my god. As if caught in a river, my thoughts begin to flow. Rather than fight it as I first did, I allow the slow and uneasy trickle to take me, surrendering to the movements in my mind. Some are pleasant, others horrendous, but all prove fleeting and impermanent. Bro! Bro! What was a river soon became a torrent, identifiable memories and concepts becoming abstract and indistinct. Thoughts, feelings, and sensations all merge together in a surging rush, all physical sense of my body long gone as every emotion pours through me at once. In the swirling and flowing mass, the bedrock below it all begins to sway in the swelling flood. My sense of self nudges and rocks, at first held by the deepest roots, yet little by little against the surging flood. Bro. Bro. Wait! Flashbang!
Ma'am?
Oh. Soft grass gently presses against my neck, the dew of early morning contrasting in the sun's warmth. My eyes open, but my body feels too heavy to move. Far from being unexpected, it's now a familiar feeling. My mind too dull to do anything more, I silently watch the flowers before me gently sway in the breeze while birds squawk in the far distance. It's all so different and so warm. As if waking from a terribly long sleep, I wearily pick myself up and my senses slowly return. A cloudless blue sky hangs above, and the lush green of the unkempt forest surrounding me. It's also idyllic. Here, there's no bright red tower piercing the sullen sky. The world which stretches out before me couldn't be farther from the hustle and bustle of the city I've left. The warmth of spring and its many scents confuses my senses, jarred by the shift from the cold winter's night I left. The only blemish on the scene is a column of faint smoke from workshops in the far distance, peeking above the tree canopies.
So she does.
Asakawa Hanaka. Okay. Thoughtlessly say the words to nobody in particular, the nature of what I've done no less surreal to me, now that the scant few other times I've successfully managed it. Alright.
So she does blood magic to go to a forest?
Yeah, she goes to a fantasy realm.
Wow.
Alright. Unfortunately, my senses return to me also means the pain is among them. I quickly set about rebinding my bandages, lest anyone here see the scars now disfiguring my forearm. Groaning, I focus on making sure they're done tight and firm before fixing the ends once more. As much for myself as any other, I roll my sleeve back down afterwards to avoid the temptation to look. Adjusting my glasses and dusting myself off with my uninjured arm, I set off towards the town ahead. The town of Sapporo. What? Oh, this is time travel. Wait, what? An empty horse-drawn tram trundles along the field of vision. In the steed's hunchback owner patiently letting it trot along at a leisurely pace. He pays me little heed as they pass, the clatter of hooves blending in with the sounds of passers-by. The shadows are small, so it must be around noon. The flow of time here always throws me off. As I so often do when I come to this place, I just find myself watching. Strolling through as if in a daze, I caught up in observing this strange and foreign world. Yet this foreign-feeling world is strikingly familiar. For reasons unknown, the magic I've been attempting, transference, has reliably transported me here. When I should be in some other country, I instead arrive in the same location, but a century ago. The strangely dressed newcomer soon lost her novelty to the people here, few giving me so much as a passing glance as they go about their day. Words can't express how glad I am for the attention fading. Perhaps I should be glad it's the Meiji era. My modern clothing should be just another strange dress to them. Some of those walking before me mix Japanese and Western styles, even now, to varying degrees of success. Yep. So 1920s, basically?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So Meiji era is, yeah, a pre that, so like, A couple of children run by, happily chasing one another along the street. It all feels so different to the grayscale photos and dry documentaries about the Meiji era, or about history at all. People here feel alive and varied, from the dour to the cheerful. I will say, seeing black and white stuff colorized, like black and white video colorized, makes it feel so much more alive.
Yeah.
Oh, we found her.
Oh. We found her.
The idle stroll comes to an end as I reach my usual destination. Outside the kabuki venue stands the brightest person here, happily seeing off someone she's been chatting to before noticing my arrival. Yasue. Oh, she has a higher voice. Was not expecting that.
Mm.
前にも言ったでしょ、安江でいいって。せめて一人くらいは堅苦しいこと抜きでおしゃべりできる相手が欲しいの。じゃあ、私のこともほのかって呼んで。
Despite my best efforts, I wilt before her sunny disposition as usual. I'm hardly even able to make eye contact as I mumble my reply. Yasue takes the comment in stride, her cheeks hinting at the smile hidden behind her fan. Her arm suddenly aches for my wound, causing me to reflectively reach over and clutch it. Such pain is a constant reminder of the cost to get here. A tithe the normal person has to pay to mimic the magic afforded to mages. Ooh. True mages such as Yasue. Her magic is no less amazing to watch now as when I first saw it, with mages so few in number in the normal world, and those that do exist keeping a low profile, and in some ways blessed to meet one who uses their abilities so openly.
Damn.
Despite my waving off of her concern, Yasue turns to begin walking, casting a glance behind her to invite me. Quickly skip alongside as she begins to slowly stroll the streets. Huh? Oh my god. Slowly stroll the streets, stealing the occasional furtive glance at the women as we go.
If you want me to read for a little bit, that's totally fine.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm stumbling, dude.
I feel like you're struggling a little bit.
Yes, please.
And everybody else is voice acted.
Yeah, fair.
While she's a pretty person in general, I've never been quite able to place her age. I may be terrible at guessing such things normally, but it's her hair which throws me off entirely. I'd call it bleached white, but it looks natural despite her youthful face. Finding myself self-conscious, I run a hand through my bangs to neaten them before adjusting my glasses just so. I'm not particularly good at things like fashion, but just for this one person, I want to put in some kind of effort.
Yeah?
She does her best to make the remarks as gently as possible, but her point is made. I've been hoping she wasn't troubled over such things, but it's hardly the first time she's seen right through me.
You know, not gonna lie, it makes sense now. Just be like, I would do blood magic to time travel to visit a pretty woman.
Yeah, that's fair. She's like, I fell in love. Now I have to do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yasue punctuates her observation with a churlish laugh, raising my spirits. As we head onto a side street, Yasue stops to greet a friendly hauler walking by. The man happily begins to chat as he adjusts the yoke across his broad shoulders, sacks of good tied to either end. Not wanting to intrude, I let my thoughts drift back once again. I stumbled about in the grips of terror for some time, wandering into the town knowing nothing of where I was or how to escape. Nearly frozen in fright, I slinked across along the side streets, onlookers struck by the bizarre clothing I wore. How fortunate I was for some children to run and fetch Yasue. When she first caught sight of me, I wondered which of the two of us was the more surprised. She sensed that I was of a different time than others and took me under her wing without a second thought. Even now, I still feel like her helpless kitten. Like a kitten, huh? Meow? She doesn't know the scene in my world which led to that first journey, though. I wonder if she'd think differently of me for it. As the hauler ship shuffles off and we start walking once more, Yasue speaks up. Few of her conversations are started by me, though she seems unperturbed by this.
最近はどう？平穏な生活を送っていると言っていたわね。平穏。そうかも。大学に行って、帰宅して、夕飯を食べて、寝るだけの変わり映えのしない毎日だから。安江は？この世界は札幌だけで、札幌の人しかいないんでしょ？
Interesting.
Yasue nods solemnly. I dislike reminding her of the fact, but I have only the most vague understanding of such things.
昔、私たちがこの世界に封印された時、ここは不変な世界となった。今のこの姿がすべてということなのでしょうね。
Interesting. Okay, that's different.
でも、あなたが来るまで、ね。長い歳月を経て、現実世界から人が来たときは、言葉にできないほど驚いたわ。
Interesting. She giggles once more, smiling to herself at the memory. How easily she laughs off her own past awkwardness. The first impression I had of Yasue was perhaps the expected one. So many photos blend together of people in formal outfits, stiff poses, and stern, serious faces. While they may try to humanize history in school, there's only so much a museum trip or classroom lecture can do.
Yeah.
My preconceptions would be dispelled in moments. In so many ways, she juxtaposed her ladylike properness with a carefree spirit. Her hair is lavishly cared for, yet flows freely rather than being tied up. Her speech is archaic and uses long, obsolete words, only for her to chat naturally and openly. She dresses traditionally, yet gestures wildly and wears her emotions on her sleeve. I know full well I'll be going over every conversation we have in my head for days, if not weeks to come, angsting over every misstep or hesitation and overthinking every expression or pause.
Asakawa is already just... She's so far off the deep end.
Yet Yasue will do no such thing. Everything flows off her. It's graceful in a manner, albeit not quite in the way I expected that word to be used for someone of an era barely past samurai and daimyo.
でも、私にできるなら、あなたをこの世界から助け出したいの。あなたは偉大な魔術師ではないでしょうけれど、知り合えて本当に嬉しいと思っているの。この世界に初めて来たのが、むしろほのかのような人でよかったわ。
Not knowing how best to react to her praise, I bashfully look away. My driving desire to be complimented is one of my uglier traits. I can only hope it's one of the few things that Yasue hasn't perceived of me.
Look at her. She's blushing.
Hey.
Anyways, it is 10 o'clock.
It is 10 o'clock.
It is 10 o'clock. We're just gonna save here. Kettle and I are going to have a discussion on whether or not we want to continue this. Although I'm inclined because it's interesting so far.
Yeah, I am inclined as well.
Okay. The question is, should I shoot an email? Or should we wait? I kind of want to shoot the email anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having a good time so far.
All right. I'll shoot the email tomorrow.
Yeah.
I need to get this edited. Anyways.
Yeah.
We'll see you all Tuesday. Probably continuing this, knowing us at this point.
See y'all Tuesday.
See y'all Tuesday. We need to find someone to raid.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh god.
Who's on?
Who's on? Richard's playing Legacy of Kain. Menosunashi is playing Near Replicant, which I need to play. My play stuff is TFT. Lavi Alrune is playing Love in Deep Space. Dear Lord. Kettle knows. Oh god.
What a game.
There's a big channel playing Your Turn to Die. Should we raid someone playing Danganronpa?
Nah.
Nah. Let's go raid the person playing Love in Deep Space because I think it's funny.
Alright.
Or we can raid Mana, or we can raid Richard, which is, what do you want to do?
I mean, I'd rather raid. I'd rather raid Richard again.
Okay. No cursed raids.
I'm fine without Love in Deep Space.
Kettle doesn't need it.
I'm fine.
I feel like you're just trying to talk yourself out of playing it.
No, I actually don't want to play it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I actually don't want to play Love in Deep Space.
That's fair.
I'm not into those types of games.
That's fair.
I'm very not single. If I was horrifically single, then maybe I would have considered it.
I've heard a lot of people who are dating are into it, which is wild.
No, I've heard that too. It's just not my shtick.
That's fair.
Personally.
That's very fair. All right. Well,
I feel like I'd cringe too hard.
that's fair. That's fair. Anyways, we'll see you all next time. I'm gonna go hit the button now and get this video.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.